So the Chicago Bulls are not looking to go into a full rebuild mode. Now, we talked about this probably over the last month or so, that we've been talking about Zach LaVine and what really the Chicago Bulls are trying to do with their roster and the strategy that they have going into the NBA's trade deadline. Now, they are one of the hottest teams looking at potentially moving players, right? You're looking at Zach LaVine, what's going to happen with Alex Caruso, what's going to happen with DeMar DeRozan. Those are the names that's going to be floating around. We also know that of those three players, there is a pretty easy hierarchy of how Chicago would like to go about this. Zach LaVine is the first player that they would like to trade. Then they would like to see what happens after they trade Zach LaVine, because Chicago's mindset, their thinking is, if we're able to trade Zach LaVine, we could get some assets back. If we get some assets in return that can help us win, then we don't need to trade off the rest of the veterans that we have. So, for example, if the Lakers want to get involved with Zach LaVine, they're going to have to match that $40 million that Zach LaVine is earning. So that means it's going to be D'Angelo Russell, and you're going to get Rui Hachimura, and then another piece on top of that. So those are going to be the assets, the players that you will get back in a trade with the Lakers. Even though you may not be able to command additional draft picks at this point because of Zach LaVine's value going down and there not really being a trade market, you are still going to get players more than likely from about any team because you have to match the $40 million salary. So they are looking to get those players back in return, seeing what they have from there. The next player on that hierarchy list is DeMar DeRozan. They would like to keep him, but if he has to go, then he will be a guy that they will look to likely move and get some type of capital back, probably draft picks back for DeMar DeRozan. And then the person they do not want to move really under any circumstances is Alex Caruso. They have came out and there have been plenty of reports saying that Caruso is the guy that they are not looking to move at all out of the three names they're going to keep coming up. So it's very understandable that they're not trying to go into the full rebuild mode, and it makes sense and is very consistent as what we have been reporting here and what we've been talking about over the last month and a half with Chicago. They need to get fresh players in, but I think Coby White playing the way he is without Zach LaVine is really showing Chicago that they still have a team that could play good basketball. If they get a couple of key pieces that they feel could fit into that rotation, that could help out that rotation, probably even get some starting caliber guys, Chicago feels that quote unquote like a soft rebuild by just bringing in new assets, kind of like the Lakers have been doing the last few years, right? They haven't went into a full rebuild, but they have been flipping players for other players, and that is kind of how the Lakers have gone about their quote unquote rebuild. That is exactly what Chicago is trying to do and what they are trying to accomplish. So Mark Stein reporting this is pretty much on point with what we have been saying. Now, what can Zach LaVine go for? That is the next question, because of that high contract. He has not played. The Bulls have played good without Zach LaVine. So the trade value for Zach LaVine is going down. But like I said before, you still have to match salaries. The majority of the teams are still going to have to match salaries. And that is going to be the difficult part. He's under contract, but you got to match those salaries. And if you don't trade for him this year, that salary is only going up and up. He's going to be harder to get in the future in terms of matching salaries. Of course, the trade value will continue to go down. But I also see a very real scenario where they don't really get anything for Zach LaVine. They get other dump players that they could go ahead and get off the books quickly. And that might be it for Zach LaVine. We've seen a dark horse potentially for Zach LaVine being the Golden State Warriors. I don't quite see that happening because I don't see Klay Thompson being shipped out. I know he is scheduled to become an unrestricted free agent, that he does not have a deal, but I just do not see that being a realistic scenario. I think Golden State keeps what they have. The Lakers, a team to watch. They finally got a win against the Clippers, but I don't know if they make that trade. And I have came out and said, and I still believe this even with the recent Lakers struggles, I don't think the Lakers should trade D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and even if it's a Hushafino that you got to throw in, I don't think that is worth a player like Zach LaVine. Not one-on-one, I think Zach LaVine is the best player out of all those players I just named, but just because of the depth and what you give up, I don't think it is worth that. So we will see. We will see what happens. But like I said, Mark Stein is reporting right now the Bulls do not want to go into a full rebuild mode. We do know Alex Caruso is a player that is not going to go anywhere. DeMar DeRozan could go, but the primary guy that they want to trade, Zach LaVine. Can they find a trade by the trade deadline? That's going to be the question. He comes back. We will see. He comes back January, mid-January. We'll see how he plays and performs. They're going to look to try to showcase him. We have seen this story a lot. They're going to look to try to showcase him, make him look as good as they could possibly make him look, try to get some type of value back, and then ship him off. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, man. You guys let me know what you guys think about it, though, in the comment section below. Do you see any scenario that Zach LaVine is traded? Do you think he stays? And what do you think is the best route for Chicago? Should they go into a full rebuild mode, or are they doing this smartly by just saying maybe we trade 1 to 2 assets and then try to build from that? Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. As usual, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please do me a favor, go ahead and leave this video a like. It helps me out a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already. It's DLloyd. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace.